Alright y'all, we're redoing this review on the Old Country Brazos DLX because the other day when I did this video, the audio was absolutely terrible because of the wind. I mean, it was just completely blanking out my mic. But this is it. It's the new one that Academy's offering. It's got the counterweight lid on it, same size smokestack, still got the little tray right there. It does come with a tuning plate down here. It's not a very big tuning plate, but it works. When I had it all the way over, it seemed to make it a little cold, so when I cooked on it the other day, I just left a crack right there. Seemed to help even out the temperatures a little bit. It does have a threaded grease drain right here, so you can put a ball valve on it. And actually, I believe the offset is deep enough to where you could fill up some water in there and use the whole bottom as a water pan if you had that ball valve on there. Same size cooking grates, bottom and top, from what I understand. The burn plate down here seems to be about the same size. Steel, it might be just a bit thinner. Yeah, that's 1/4 inch steel on the firebox and stuff, so that's probably a little bit thinner, but it seems to be thick. It should last for a while. All the welding's pretty good on this for the most part. I mean, I burned it in and I cooked in it the other day, and the smoke loss is actually very minimal around the doors. I don't think I'm going to end up doing anything like any gasket around the edge. I was pretty happy with the way everything seals up, but like I said, I mean, you get a little bit, but I mean, it's very minimal. The only thing I might do is put a stack extension on here. Seems like it could use just a little bit more draw, but really the other day I was able to keep whatever temp I wanted in here. I kept it down low for a while, and then I bumped it up higher, and it seemed to be pretty capable of holding whatever temp you were trying to run, as long as you were managing your fire right. But we're gonna put some ribs on here in a little bit. I got a couple racks of some baby backs at the store just a little bit ago. We're gonna put salt, pepper, and garlic on them, throw them on here, and try out some ribs. I did some boneless beef ribs, some chuck boneless ribs the other day. They turned out good. I put a video up about those the other day. They turned out good. But we're going to get this meat seasoned up, and I'll bring y'all back when I'm about to throw the meat on. Alright y'all, well, smoke was clearing up. Let's check our fire. That pit's up to temp. That smoke's starting to clear out. It's a little thick right now, but it's been clearing up. We're up to about 230 on the pit temp. We're gonna go ahead and get these ribs in here and going. All these were is salt, pepper, and garlic. Some nice looking baby backs. They're thick, real thick. They're about I don't know, I think they were just a little over 3 pounds a piece. They look good at the store. We're gonna keep working on this fire. Like I said, we're just getting up the temp. That smoke's clearing up. We're gonna have to keep playing with this door. Once this firebox gets a good bed of coals going in there, you can shut that door and just leave the dampers open. But until that coal bed's just screaming hot, you kind of gotta mess with it, open it up, and then kind of shutting it back down. But right now we're just getting this coal bed going. We've had a fire in here for about an hour. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour to get your pit up to temp on the inside, and then it probably takes about another I don't know, maybe like 30-40 minutes to really get that roaring coal bed that you like, that really just makes your fire management easy. But this 1/4 inch steel really holds the heat good. Once it gets up to temp, it's easy to keep it there. I really like this smoker. It's the first really thick offset I've ever had, so I enjoyed it on my first cook the other day. Like I said, if y'all got any questions, just put them in the comments and we'll get them answered. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same thing as the regular Brazos, except for the counterweight on the lid and that tuning plate that's in there. And then I don't know if the old ones had a threaded grease drain or not. That's something else I'm not sure about, but this one does. So y'all stay with me through this cook, and when we start getting a little color on these ribs, I'll bring y'all back when we're spritzing down and see the color that we're getting on them and stuff like that. But for now, I'm just going to keep this fire burning clean as I can and have fun. Y'all can see there's very little smoke loss coming out of these doors. I know that's kind of an issue on the Pecos and stuff like that, but there's not much coming out of these doors or this firebox door either. I mean, you get a little bit here and there. There's a little bit down at the bottom of this door. It's not much though. I'm going to I think I'm going to leave it be how it is. I really enjoy it so far. I don't know if I can get any good shots in there. I think the sun's not acting right for this. But finally got a decent coal bed going in here. But like I said, I think put a little stack extension on here maybe. I saw a guy, I think his YouTube channel is Raleigh Smoke or something like that. He did one on the Pecos and it seemed to really pull that fire on in. So we'll see how it goes. I think he did a longer one and then he cut it back to 16 inches. I know he was talking about, Aaron Franklin said like 3/4 the length of your main cook chambers, how long your stack should be. So maybe I'll measure it up and see what 3/4 is and figure out what that would be on here. But we're cooking at 225, holding a good temp. I might bump it on up towards 250 for this rib cook. I have been putting just 2 splits in at a time, but I'm going to put 3 on this next time, see how many degrees that bumps me up, and then kind of adjust from there. And those next splits I've got warming up, they're a little thinner, so I put 4 up there, but I've been warming up the splits on the inside of the firebox and leaving the next round up here, so when I put those that are in the firebox on the actual fire, I'll move those down into there, and that's kind of how I rotate. And it worked out really well the other day when I was cooking those boneless beef chuck ribs. It turned out pretty good, but we'll see what happens. It's time to spray. It's been just a little bit, about 2 hours and 15 minutes this stuff's been on here. Starting to get a little color on them. Might have to rotate here in a little bit. One on the left's getting a little more color, but it's closer to the smokestack over here. going in here. I like to let them sit in there and cook for a good long while. Anyways, this is about 2 hours and 15 minutes. I think I'm gonna take this one and move it over here, but I'm also gonna turn them this way over here. So I'll bring y'all back here next time I spray or whenever it's time to wrap. Alright, this is for Brandon Cyrus. He's been asking me some questions on YouTube about the smoke loss on these. My welding on this particular unit is very good. I mean, I'm running at 250 degrees. I'm burning some clean smoke. You can see there's not, I mean, you can't hardly see any smoke loss on this main door. Now, when you're first starting this pit up and you've got a lot of white smoke coming, you'll see some leak out, mainly around the bottom of the door here, and you got a couple little spots on the sides, and on the bottom of this firebox right here you get a little bit, but to be honest, I mean it's very minimal. And you can see once the pit warms up and this main cooking chamber really gets warm, good and hot, this thing flows pretty dang good. I'm probably not going to put any insulation around the lid or fire gasket. I don't really see a need. Like you can see I don't really get any smoke loss. And like I said at the first of the video, when you're first building your fire, you kind of have to play with that door a little bit, but once it starts getting burning hot, you can leave it shut pretty much, unless you're adding wood or something to it. So Brandon, I hope that helps you, and if you got any other questions, holler at me. We're ready to do some wrapping. They are pretty tender already. What we're going to do is put a little juice in here.
Can you tell them what the juice stuff is?
Yeah.
It is applesauce. That is
apple juice.
Apple juice. No, sorry. That.
Do some filming. Lift it up and look at it. There you go.
And he's also cooking baked beans.
We're doing a mixture of foil and we're doing some butcher paper. I'm doing a little mixture. Mad Scientist did one of these brisket wraps the other day where he did brisket and butcher paper. He said the aluminum foil on the bottom of your butcher paper sped up the cook. These are already pretty tender for what we're trying to do, but we're going to just wrap them up and finish them on up because we're trying to get dinner done.
Max, move.
These have been on for about, let's see, 130 minutes. About 4.5 hours. So we're just gonna try and finish them up. They're already pretty tender. That dog's going crazy. No, not right this second. This should allow them to breathe a little bit while they're cooking. Go ahead and stir these beans while we got this open. Beans are pretty much done. We're just waiting on these ribs. Ribs should be done here in the next probably hour or so. And then when they're about done, we'll put just a little sprinkling of sauce on there, and dinner will be ready. Alright, we're going to sauce one of these, and then we're going to leave the other one unsauced. Maybe. Might have to set this down. Just a little bit of homemade barbecue sauce. Really simple recipe. If anybody wants it, ask in the comments and I'll throw it in there. We're just going to do a real thin layer on these ribs. I don't like my ribs super wet with sauce, but I do like a little bit on there. But today we're doing a little bit of a comparison between sauced and unsauced, and these ribs just have salt, pepper, and garlic, so the other one's gonna be just the taste of the meat and the little bit of SPG that we put on there. We're gonna let this sauce sit up for just a minute, probably about 10 or 20 minutes, just depending on how long it takes to tack up. Then we'll take everything off and let it rest, and we'll do a taste test here in just a little bit. The beans are pretty much done. Well, they are done. Just let them finish out there. This smoker, man, it rocked 250 pretty steady for the past several hours. It was pretty easy to manage that temperature. We were just preheating some wood up there and then preheating on this side of the fire. So when it's time to add new, we just took the ones out of the firebox and put them on top of the fire, and then we rotate those into the firebox and kept that going. And man, it worked out really good. You can see we got a pretty good fire in there, and before I opened up that lid we were about 250, 260, something like that. But this thing cooks like a beast. It's really nice. You can see here it draws pretty decent. Like I said, with a smokestack extension it might even run a little bit better. That's something I'm contemplating. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not, but I'm thinking about it. So maybe here in the next couple weeks. It's pretty cheap to do that. All you do is go get some vent pipe for like a wood burning stove or something like that, and put it up there and then clamp it on. So even if I did it and I wasn't a super big fan of it, it wouldn't take that much money to do. So if I liked it, it'd be okay. If I didn't, it'd be all right as well. But we're going to finish up this cook, and I'll cut back to y'all when the ribs are getting cut. Alright, so we're going to slice these ribs. This one is the unsauced, this one is the sauced. And just pulled right apart. Alright, so these were unwrapped for 4 hours, then we wrapped them for 1 hour, and then I sauced this one and then just left this one salt, pepper, garlic. So I'm going to do a little taste test with the salt, pepper, garlic. It's good. I've never done just a salt, pepper, garlic rib before. Plenty of flavor, plenty of smoke on there. This is salt, pepper, garlic, and then as they were finishing up, I put my homemade barbecue sauce on there. So we're going to try this one out. They're both good. I guess it boils down to whether you like a little bit of barbecue sauce put on there right at the end, or if you just want to finish them out like that. I will say that unwrapping them, because this one stayed wrapped the whole time, this one looked super juicy when I unwrapped it. This one looked a little bit drier, but actually bite-wise, they were pretty similar. I would, this one kind of pulled apart on the bone, and this one held together a little bit, and that could be from saucing it and then reopening the package. I would have to do another comparison to figure that out, but they both taste great. Like I said, 4 hours uncooked on the offset, and then 1 hour wrapped, and then we sauced this one and left that one wrapped, and that was probably about 20 minutes. Kenzie wants to get in here and do a little bite Come here, Kenzie. Get you a bite of that one.
Mmm.
What do you think? Okay. Now this one has the sauce that I brushed on top. See
Okay.
which one you like better.
I don't know.
They're both good, right? It's hard to compare. I think it just comes down to personal standards, what you like better. But thank you for joining us, and we'll be doing another review and cook coming up here soon.